All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy CMB checking in, and I know, guys, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've been on here putting out content for you guys, and to be honest with you, it's I've been so disillusioned with this sport as of late. I have to be honest with you. Um, and this is outside of the stuff that's going on with the Muhammad Ali Act, the stuff with Zuffa. I guess that's kind of part of it. But just some of the stuff that happens in boxing. And I think a lot of the stuff that's happening is why boxing is not taken seriously by a lot of people, why boxing has lost its luster, how, it used to be a big, huge sport here in the US and it's not anymore. And a lot of it has to do with the guard that's in charge right now, the old guard, the one I'm talking about. The stuff with the four belt sanctioning bodies, these platforms. For years, they don't want to make the best fights for the fans. Uh, they're crooks. They've been robbing these fighters left and right. They play favoritism with these fighters, and it's just a mess. And they keep creating all these belts, so they can get a sanction fee. It's just nothing but corruption. And even though I like that four belt system, I like, having those four big titles and the guys in the weight classes, whoever the champions are coming together to become undisputed. I like that. But seeing Zuffa come in and maybe not, I don't know if they're going to do it for sure or not, but not recognizing these sanctioning bodies, in the beginning, I think I had a problem with that. But if they're going to come in here and fighters are going to actually have to fight one another to be a champion, and we're not going to get any of these shenanigans going on where, we can't get the young guys to fight one another, then let the chips fall where they may, in my opinion. Because these guys had years to get this right, and they don't want to. And now they're crying foul because they're talking about the fighters being screwed over. You guys have been screwing over the fighters for the longest time, and I don't even think it's about the fighters right now. I think it's about you guys. I think it's about these sanctioning bodies. I think it's about these promoters. They want to be able to do what they want to do. They want to run roughshod and make a lot of money. That's what it's really about, in my opinion. And it just irks me. It irks me so much as a boxing fan. And here's another thing that's really been really pissing me off is how cheaters, people like Ryan Garcia, people like Alicia Baumgardner, how they put these people, these are the people that they want to put on a pedestal. They want to act like they never cheated. They want to sweep that under the rug. They don't even want to bring it up. They want to put these guys at the top. But people who haven't cheated, people like Crawford, people like Devin Haney, and I don't care what you guys say, neither one of those guys ever got popped for an illegal banned substance. But the two I just talked about, they did. But the people who do the straight and narrow, they're not celebrated. They're not put on a pedestal. They're the people that they want to try to hold back. That's how backward boxing is right now. You guys see that. And just recently, Mauricio Suleiman had the nerve. He's the president of the WBC, if you don't know. He had the nerve to call Terence Bud Crawford a coward. I guess basically because he doesn't want to come back and fight Canelo. Can you believe that? The audacity of him to say something like that. And I would say this. I bet you wouldn't do it to his face. I guarantee you that. But you calling him a coward, a guy who's lived and breathed this sport, a 5-division champion, a 3-time undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes, a true American hero, a guy who beat the guy you've been protecting for years. Went up 3 weight classes to do it. Some may say 3, some may say 2. But he did it. Even though a lot of you said he wasn't going to do it. He beat your guy. But he's the coward. That is amazing to me. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why people don't take this sport seriously. That's why this sport will continue to decline, in my opinion. And I think having Zuffa around, I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe we need Zuffa around. You know, keep these guys on their toes. You know, sometime when you don't have any competition, maybe, you know, you don't step up your game. But now there's competition there. Maybe you'll step up your game. Maybe you'll try a little harder this time. Maybe you'll try to make the best fights for the fans instead of just trying to line your own pockets and trying to pull the wool over our eyes. But it's done so easy because we have a lot of people in the sport, a lot of fans in the sport, that they just play right into this. You know, they don't care. They're like cheerleaders. They don't really care about the sport. They just care about a certain fighter. And that's why the sport's dying, in my opinion. I know some people say, oh, boxing is better than ever. No, it's not. It's nothing like it was in the 80s. Nothing. These guys aren't even fighting. They're fighting on Twitter. They're fighting on X. But they're not getting in the ring. They're not making the best fights. And these platforms are just playing games. I think I got really disillusioned after the fight fell through with Rolly Romero, because PBC wasn't willing to pay Devin Haney, you know, a decent amount of money. You know, I don't even think they really wanted the fight. I think they, you know, they wanted to keep the fight in-house. They wanted to have an in-house fight. They knew Rolly can't beat Devin Haney. And this is what I'm talking about. All these games, all these shenanigans, here it is. Devin Haney, he should be getting the biggest and best fights. He should be. But you guys would rather celebrate a drug cheat and give him all these opportunities that he doesn't deserve.